Hello to our next round in our series HopsAcademy for Thriving Together. And today we're gonna start with improving late and dry hopping, as this is where we come from, this is where we are, and where we could help you to improve. First of all, why do we want to improve late and dry hopping? If we're talking about late and dry hopping, we are always talking about aroma of beer, flavor of beer. And years before, we thought about we should have a better description for hop aroma and hop flavor. And we decided to develop our HopsAcademy scheme. As you can see here on the slide, we developed a rows chart with 12 different categories to describe the hops. We work together with perfumers and people from the industry to set up the standard for aroma description of hops, beers, and hoppy beverages. When we are talking about hop aroma and hop aroma components, we talk about over 400 different hop aroma components. In these 12 categories, we identified approximately 10 different descriptors for each category, so that we are overall talking about 120 different aroma descriptors for a hoppy beverage, beer, or a hop itself. For example, in the first category, floral, you can see that we have elderflower, chamomile, or in the category sweet fruits, we have banana, watermelon, and guava. A hop oil consists, as I said, out of 400 different flavor components. The main flavor component is myrcene with over 50%. Then we have humulines with around 22%, carrageenan and farnesene as the aroma components on place 4 and 3, and then we have minor components Then we have minor aroma components, which does not mean that they are not relevant for the flavor of a beer. For example, if we have a look at the sulfur components in hop, for example, the thiols, they have a highly potential to have an influence on the flavor. About 0.1% of the overall hop oil composition is thiols or are thiols. And at the moment, this is what the brewing industry is looking for, to have more thiols, as the threshold for some of them is lower than 1 nanogram per liter. Here you can see how the different flavor components influence the aroma of the beer. In the category floral, for example, you can find mostly monoterpene oxides and sesquiterpene oxides. You can have carbon acid esters in the sweet fruits category, as well as thiols, for example. And for the more green aroma categories like herbal, menthol, green grassy, you can find mono and sesquiterpenes, as well as monoterpene oxides and sesquiterpene oxides. How can we influence the flavor of the beer and the hop aroma? This is due to the process. So every step in the production process of hops, as well as the production process of beer, impacts the final flavor of your beer or your beverage. For example, a different harvest time could lead to more or less oil in a hop cone, so a more or less flavor impression in the hop cone itself. Then pelletization, CO2 extract, distillation, these are all factors which impact the hop itself. Then in the brewing process, we have different brewhouse systems, different temperatures, different timing. So there's an impact on the flavor. During fermentation, different yeasts can have different impact. We're talking about biotransformation as a buzzword. And again, during lagering, depending on the lagering system. Here, for example, you can see horizontal tanks, which have a different impact on the flavors as typical vertical tanks have nowadays. And finally, the finishing processes like the filtration, the bottling, and the storage. Especially for brewers who want to export their beer, they should think about how the conditions are during the transport. As our topic is late and dry hopping and improving late and dry hopping, we should have a look which impact has late hopping on dry hopping. Here we can see 3 different beers. One in the middle in the violet color is only Whirlpool hopped. So we have a citrus flavor impression, sweet fruit flavor impression, but from the intensity not that strong. If we brewed the same beer without any Whirlpool addition, only the same amount dry hopped, then we have a stronger character in the sweet fruit direction. And as we combine the Whirlpool addition and the dry hop addition, we can see that the flavor is more complex, more fruity, and more intensive compared to the single applications during dry hopping and Whirlpool. So the key message should be a good dry hopping needs to have a proper late hopping. To come to the late hopping, so how we can improve our late and dry hopping. If we're talking about late hopping, we are talking about everything which happens in the Whirlpool. The most important thing for Whirlpool additions is that we are limited to about 500 gram per hectoliter of pellets. Most Whirlpools are not able to take in more than 500 gram of pellets per hectoliter, as you then have issues with the hot drop and you're not really able to separate the hot drop properly from the hot wort. Therefore, we have a solution. You can see here the difference between the Whirlpool edition of T90 pellets, T35 pellets, and CO2 extract. And I think it's easy to identify that most of the hot drop is formed with T90 pellets. Enriched pellets can help to decrease the amount of hop drop, so you can have more beer out of one wort. And the best thing is to have a CO2 extract. CO2 extracts in a normal way are used for bittering. Our solution is incognito as a CO2 extract, especially designed for the Whirlpool edition. So we have a higher oil content to really increase the flavor impact during the late hop edition. Below the 3 pictures, you can see the average losses you have with all the 3 different products, and with CO2 extract, you can see we only have about 4.3% average loss, which is about the half or only a third compared to normal T90 pellets. So here, as I said, our solution is incognito. I will come to incognito a little bit later, as I now want to conclude what is important for late hopping. We should use incognito to reduce beer losses. We should lower the temperature of the wort on the transfer to the Whirlpool to increase the utilization. And we should really take care about not overloading the Whirlpool with blend material, so enriched pellets or incognito are the way to go. To combine the late hopping with proper dry hopping, we should also think about important points to consider for dry hopping. As I mentioned before, late hopping is important and crucial for proper dry hopping. If we have a closer look into dry hopping, there are 4 main key factors which impact the dry hopping. First of all, it's the right timing. It's all about the right products. It's all about the right system and the right yeast. About the right timing. If we're talking about dry hopping, we are mainly talking about the processes during fermentation. But even in this short production step, there are different time frames which impact the aroma outcome of a beer or of a hop. As you can see on this slide, there is an impact on the different timing for the dry hop addition. In the grayish color right in the middle, this is the control beer, sensory evaluated by our sensory palate at BarthHaas. And there you can see that there's not much flavor impact as there are no hops added during dry hopping. Then in the orange color, you can see that there is some flavor impact, mainly into the direction of floral, sweet fruits, and also woody. In this case, the dry hopping addition was during lagering. That the flavor impact is not that high is due to the fact that the contact time was only about 24 hours, so with more contact time you could have a higher utilization. Then in the violet color you can see a dry hop addition or the beer dry hopped at the beginning of the fermentation. You can see that you then create more of citrus aroma, so the beer is more in the citrus direction as compared to the last diagram. You can see in this brownish color, the dry hop addition was at the end of the fermentation, and there we have a lot of, there our tasters found a lot of sweet fruit characteristic. To make it a little bit more easy, as you can see here on the slide, if you add hops at the beginning of fermentation, in the main fermentation, you have more citrus-like flavors, then it leads as later as the hop addition is, leads more into the direction of floral flavor category, green, grassy, till the woody characteristics at the end of lagering when the hop addition was done at the end of lagering. Now to the products. If we're talking about dry hopping, we're talking about amounts of pellets we want to use or amounts of product we want to use. People think more is more, but in case of hops, this is not true. There is a maximum for really good utilization of the nice and pleasant flavors at about 800 grams of hop pellets per hectoliter. If you exceed this amount, you will only create more of a vegetal, green characteristic and not so pleasant, fruity and citrusy like it is with the additions lower than 800 grams per hectoliter. Another point, if we're talking about the products, is that T90 pellets are dried and concentrated, so they are able to absorb a lot of water, and theoretically they are able, 1 kilo of Citra T90 pellets is able to soak up about 14 liters of beer. So with this 14 liters of beer, you increase your losses. You can see in the case study on the left side, that you could lose up to 1,225 liters for a 100 hectoliter fermentation tank. So if you have the possibility, use extracts or enriched pellets instead of T90 pellets. Especially if you consider all the other things like hop creep, increase of oxygen and nitrate, which have a bad impact on your overall aroma characteristic of your beer. Process handling could be an issue, as I said. If you add 800 gram per hectoliter of hop pellets and you do not have a proper system, you have to handle these 800 gram per hectoliter and carry them up to the top of the tank. So this could be an issue. Cold and warehouse capacities could be an issue. And if we're talking about normal T90 pellets which are not selected sensory-wise, like our Lupomax pellets, you could also have a different flavor impression if you don't use a product which is standardized for flavor, like our Spectrum is. So as takeaway message for dry hopping, to improve your dry hopping, you should have late hopping to support the dry hopping. You can reduce beer losses by using extracts like our Spectrum. And during recipe designing, think about the right timing for what hop flavor you are targeting for. So what are the products we are looking for, or with which products we can support you by improving your late and dry hopping? First of all, our late hopping product, Incognito, which is an CO2 extract, especially designed for the hot edition. It contains no blend material. It is flowable at room temperature, and as it is an extract, you spare shipping and storage costs. It's available in different varieties, and I recommend to check our website for all the available varieties at the moment, because we are releasing new varieties regularly. To the specifications of Incognito, it is in a dark amber to yellow color. It is flowable at room temperature. The alpha acid content is about 40 to 55%, and the oil content is about 12 to 15 milliliter per 100 gram. Our recommendation is to add it right before the knockout or directly into the whirlpool. To use the pump or the tangential flow of the wort to solve it properly. The replacement rate compared to T90s is about 1 to 6. So instead of 6 kilos T90 pellets, you only need 1 kilo of Incognito. And if you are able to heat it up to room temperature before adding, then you can really pour it easily into your whirlpool. For the cold side, we have Spectrum, which is also a CO2 extract, especially designed to solve properly in the cold part of the brewing process. Spectrum also contains no solid particles, and one of the best things with Spectrum is that there is no risk for hop creep, so an ongoing fermentation by adding enzymes with the hops. So Spectrum has no hop creep effect, and the contact times are very short compared to T90s. If you're a craft brewer and you do not have a proper dosing equipment, Spectrum is easy to apply into your process, as you only have to pre-dissolve it and then add it into your fermenter, into your tank, maybe, for example, due to the sample piping. And here again, we have many varieties on stock, so check our website for all the new and existing varieties for Spectrum and Incognito. As an overview, you can see here the benefits by using Spectrum. It's microbiological safe. It contains nearly no oxygen, so you don't have to take care about oxygen intake, as it is typically if you open up a pellet, or even worse, if you use hop cones. With Spectrum, it's concentrated, there's no oxygen in it, so you don't have to be scared about oxidizing your beer. It's lower in storage and transport costs, and it's really easy to dose. To come to an end, if you want to have further information about how your dry hopping or your late hopping could be improved, contact us at BarthHaas. We at the Brewing Solutions team always looking forward to help you to add our products and hops into your processes. And so then I have to say, keep calm and add more hops. Thank you.